What do you do when your workaholic wife ruins her relationship with your child? I never thought I'd be sitting here, recording this story, but I need to get this off my chest. Maybe someone out there has gone through something similar, or maybe you can tell me what I should do next, because honestly, I'm lost. My name is David, and I've been married to Sarah for 12 years. We have a beautiful 10-year-old daughter named Emma, and until 2 years ago, we were what I thought was a happy family. Sarah was an amazing mother, the kind who would read bedtime stories every night, help with homework, attend every school play, and make elaborate birthday parties that Emma still talks about. But everything changed when Sarah got promoted to senior manager at her marketing firm. At first, I was thrilled for her. She'd worked so hard for that position, often staying late and taking on extra projects. The promotion came with a significant salary increase, which meant we could finally afford the house we'd been dreaming about and start saving for Emma's college fund. Sarah was over the moon, and I supported her completely. "This is it, David," she said the night she got the news. "This is our chance to really secure our future. Emma will thank us for this someday." I believed her. We both did. The first few months weren't too bad. Sarah worked longer hours, sure, but she still made it home for dinner most nights. She'd squeeze in quality time with Emma on weekends, and we managed to maintain some semblance of our old routine. But gradually, almost imperceptibly, things began to shift. It started with missing bedtime stories. "Just tonight," Sarah would say, barely looking up from her laptop. "I have this presentation tomorrow, and it needs to be perfect." Then it became 2 nights, then 3. Soon, I was the one tucking Emma in every single night. Next came the missed school events. Emma had been looking forward to the mother-daughter craft day at school for weeks. She'd made special invitations and picked out a matching outfit for her and Sarah. The morning of the event, Sarah got a call about a client emergency. "I'm so sorry, sweetheart," Sarah said, already reaching for her car keys. "Daddy will take you instead, okay? We'll do crafts this weekend, I promise." But that weekend, there was another crisis. And the next weekend, and the one after that. The promises started piling up like unpaid bills, and Emma stopped believing them. I watched my daughter's face change over those months. The excitement in her eyes when she heard Sarah's car in the driveway gradually faded. The eager mommy's home became a quiet acknowledgement, then eventually no reaction at all. Emma learned not to expect her mother to be present, and that broke my heart. I tried talking to Sarah about it several times, but she always had the same response: "This is temporary, David. Once I get established in this role, things will calm down. I'm doing this for our family." But things didn't calm down. They got worse. Sarah started traveling more, sometimes for days at a time. She'd miss Emma's soccer games, school conferences, and even Emma's birthday party last year. Yes, you heard that right. My wife missed our daughter's 10th birthday party because of a crucial client meeting that couldn't be rescheduled. I'll never forget Emma's face that day. She kept looking at the door, asking, "When is mommy coming home?" She promised she'd be here for cake. I had to explain to a room full of 10-year-olds why the birthday girl's mother wasn't there. The humiliation and disappointment in Emma's eyes haunts me still. That night, after all the guests left and Emma was in bed, Sarah finally came home at nearly 11 p.m. She brought an expensive toy as an apology, some elaborate doll house that Emma had mentioned wanting months earlier. But Emma barely looked at it. She just said, "Thanks," and went to her room. Sarah didn't seem to understand why the gift wasn't received with enthusiasm. "I got her exactly what she wanted," she said to me, frustrated. "She's being ungrateful." I tried to explain that Emma didn't want expensive gifts. She wanted her mother's time and attention. But Sarah just dismissed it as Emma going through a phase. The distance between them grew wider each month. Emma stopped running to Sarah when she got hurt or upset. She came to me instead. When Emma had nightmares, she'd call for Daddy, not Mommy. When she had exciting news to share, she'd wait for me to get home from work, even if Sarah was right there in her home office. Sarah seemed oblivious to this shift, or maybe she was too buried in work to notice. When she did pay attention, it was often to criticize or correct Emma rather than to connect with her. She'd comment on Emma's grades, remind her to clean her room, or hurry her along in the morning, all necessary parenting tasks, but delivered without warmth or patience. The breaking point came 3 months ago during Emma's school play. Emma had been cast as the lead in her class production of Charlotte's Web. She was playing Charlotte, and she was so proud. For weeks, she practiced her lines with me every night. She made me promise to record everything so she could watch it later. "Is Mommy coming?" she asked me the morning of the performance. Sarah had promised she'd be there. She'd even put it in her calendar and told her team she was unavailable that afternoon. But an hour before the play, her phone rang. Another client emergency. I watched Sarah pace our kitchen, talking rapidly into her phone. I saw the exact moment. She made her choice, and my heart sank. "I have to go," she told me, already grabbing her briefcase. "Tell Emma I'm sorry. I'll make it up to her." "Sarah, no," I said. "You can't miss this. She's been practicing for weeks. She's counting on you being there." "David, you don't understand. This client represents millions in revenue. If I don't handle this personally, we could lose them, and if you don't show up for Emma, you could lose her." Sarah paused at the door, and for a moment, I thought she might stay. But then she shook her head. "That's dramatic, David. She understand when she's older." I attended that play alone, sitting in an auditorium full of parents, both mothers and fathers, cheering for their children. Emma was magnificent. She remembered every line, projected her voice beautifully, and commanded the stage with confidence. But when the play ended and she took her bow, her eyes searched the audience for her mother's face and found only mine. Later, when I tucked her into bed, Emma asked the question that shattered my heart. "Daddy, does Mommy even love me anymore? How do you answer that? How do you explain to a 10-year-old that her mother loves her but has lost sight of what's truly important?" I did my best to reassure her, but I could see the doubt taking root in her mind. After that night, Emma's attitude towards Sarah changed completely. She stopped asking when Mommy would be home. She stopped sharing stories about her day with Sarah. When Sarah tried to engage her in conversation, Emma would give one-word answers and find an excuse to leave the room. Sarah finally noticed, but instead of recognizing her role in creating this distance, she blamed Emma. "She's being disrespectful," Sarah complained to me. "She rolls her eyes when I talk to her, and she acts like I'm bothering her when I ask about school." I tried to explain that Emma was hurt and feeling abandoned, but Sarah didn't want to hear it. "I work hard to provide for this family," she'd say. "The least she can do is show some appreciation." The situation reached a crisis point 2 weeks ago. Sarah had promised Emma they'd spend Saturday together, just the two of them. Emma was so excited. She planned out their whole day. They'd go to the farmer's market, get lunch at Emma's favorite cafe, and then see a movie. She even picked out an outfit and made a little itinerary. Saturday morning came, and Sarah's phone rang at 8 a.m. I could tell from her tone that she was going to break another promise. When she hung up, she turned to Emma with that familiar apologetic expression. "Sweetheart, I'm so sorry, but something urgent came up at work. We'll have to reschedule our day." Emma just stared at her for a long moment. Then, without a word, she went to her room and slammed the door. She didn't come out for hours. That evening, I found Emma crying in her room. "I hate her," she sobbed into my chest. "I hate Mommy. She doesn't care about me at all. She only cares about stupid work." Those words hit me like a physical punch. I held my daughter as she cried, and I realized how far things had deteriorated. My 10-year-old daughter hated her own mother, and I couldn't even blame her for feeling that way. I decided it was time for a serious conversation with Sarah. That night, after Emma was asleep, I sat Sarah down and laid it all out. I told her how Emma felt, how her behavior was affecting our daughter, and how urgent it was that she make changes. Sarah, Emma told me she hates you, I said, trying to keep my voice calm. Our daughter hates her own mother because she feels abandoned and unloved. You're missing her entire childhood for conference calls and client meetings. Sarah's response shocked me. Instead of showing concern or remorse, she became defensive and angry. So now I'm the villain for working hard and being successful. I'm providing for our family's future. David, someone has to think long-term here. I'm not asking you to quit your job, I replied. I'm asking you to find balance. Emma needs her mother. She needs you to show up for her literally and emotionally. I show up. I pay for her school, her clothes, her activities. I work 60 hours a week so she can have opportunities we never had. But she doesn't need opportunities, Sarah. She needs her mom. She needs you to be present in her life, to care about her day, to prioritize her sometimes. The argument escalated from there. Sarah accused me of not understanding the pressure she was under at work. She said I was being unsupportive and making her feel guilty for being ambitious. I tried to explain that I wasn't attacking her career, just asking her to make room for her family too. Finally, I said the words that I thought might wake her up. Sarah, you need to try harder. You need to make an effort to reconnect with Emma before it's too late. What Sarah said next will haunt me forever. She looked at me with cold, tired eyes and said, "You know what, David? Maybe I'm just not cut out to be a mother. Maybe Emma would be better off without me trying and failing constantly. I'm giving up. I'm done trying to be something I'm apparently terrible at." I sat there in stunned silence. My wife, the woman who used to sing lullabies and braid Emma's hair and make elaborate Halloween costumes, was giving up on being a mother. "You don't mean that," I whispered. "I do mean it. I'm tired of being the bad guy. I'm tired of failing at something that's supposed to come naturally. Maybe it's better if I just focus on what I'm actually good at, my career, and let you handle the parenting." That conversation happened 2 weeks ago, and since then, Sarah has made good on her word. She's become even more distant from Emma, if that's possible. She leaves for work before Emma wakes up and comes home after Emma's asleep. On weekends, she locks herself in her home office or finds reasons to go into the office. Emma hasn't even noticed the change, which somehow makes it worse. She's become so accustomed to her mother's absence that Sarah's complete withdrawal doesn't register as unusual. I'm trying to hold our family together, but I feel like I'm failing. I'm a single parent in everything but name, and I'm exhausted. I love Emma fiercely, and I'm committed to being the best father I can be, but she needs her mother too. Every child deserves to have both parents present and engaged in their lives. I've considered marriage counseling, but Sarah refuses to go. She says she doesn't have time for navel-gazing sessions and that our problems are simple. I don't appreciate her sacrifices, and Emma is going through a difficult phase that she outgrow. I've thought about ultimatums, telling Sarah she needs to choose between her family and her career. But I know how that would end. She's made her priorities clear, and we're not at the top of the list. Some days I wonder if I should just file for divorce. At least then Emma would have clarity about why her mother isn't around. At least then we could move forward instead of living in this limbo of broken promises and emotional neglect. But other days, I remember the Sarah I married, the woman who cried happy tears when Emma took her first steps, who stayed up all night when Emma had pneumonia, who used to say that being Emma's mom was the most important job she'd ever have. That woman is still in there somewhere, buried under stress and ambition and maybe her own feelings of failure. I keep hoping she wake up one day and realize what she's losing. I keep hoping she remember that success means nothing if you lose your family in the pursuit of it. But as the days pass and Emma grows more distant from her mother, I'm losing hope. Yesterday, Emma asked me if we could change her name. When I asked why, she said, "Because I have mommy's last name, and I don't want to be connected to someone who doesn't love me." That broke me. My 10-year-old daughter wants to erase the connection to her own mother because she feels so unloved and abandoned. I don't know what to do anymore. How do you save a relationship when only one person wants to save it? How do you make someone see that they're destroying the most precious thing in their life? How do you protect your child from the pain of a parent's rejection without completely giving up on that parent? So I'm turning to you, the people watching this. Have you been through something similar? Do you have advice for a father trying to hold his family together? Do you think there's still hope for Sarah to come back to us? Or should I accept that this is who she is now and focus on protecting Emma from further disappointment? Because right now, I feel like I'm failing everyone. Emma, who deserves better. Sarah, who I'm afraid is going to regret these choices for the rest of her life. And myself, because I don't know how to fix something this broken. All I know is that I love my daughter more than anything in this world, and I'll keep fighting for her happiness, even if I have to do it alone. But I really hope I don't have to. Thank you for listening to my story. Please let me know in the comments what you think I should do. I could really use some guidance right now.